I started my Memorial Day weekend going to the movies for a double feature. Mission Stitch, or Stichpossible, whatever you want to call it. While it was no Barbenheimer, it was still a fun time at the movies. I started with Lilo and Stitch in order to get a decent seat for a later IMAX showing of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. If you only care about that movie, I'll include timestamps so you can skip forward. Now, considering Disney's track record of animation to live-action adaptations, and the fact that Lilo and Stitch is not one of my favorite Disney animation films, I did not have high expectations. However, I enjoyed it quite a bit. In the first scene, I did get worried it would be a near carbon copy of the original, but by the end, it does a great job of balancing between the two extremes of being a nearly pointless shot-for-shot remake and veering too far from the spirit of the original. This movie had enough differences and new elements, while also keeping to the spirit of the 2002 movie. In fact, this version may have surpassed the animated one for me in multiple aspects. The human characters are a bit more fleshed out, and Lilo's character is absolutely adorable, although perhaps a little too young. I loved how it felt like two completely different movies, one being a grounded, almost indie-feeling Hawaiian family drama, and then a sci-fi cartoon adventure, and it made them collide. I thought the score and other musical elements were improved, it just didn't have quite enough Elvis. I was also surprised with how emotional I got in certain parts, tearing up at the end. That did not happen for me in the original. And then I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I knew how long it was going in, and while some of the sequences were definitely stretched out too much, it was still a great time at the movies, which is what you can expect from Tom Cruise. He and Chris McQuarrie definitely deliver here, creating intense situations for suspenseful sequences. The two big, stunt-filled set pieces here involve water and air, and they do not disappoint. It does, however, take itself a little too seriously at times, occasionally wallowing in self-importance. It is much more dialogue-heavy than what we're used to from this franchise. I went in thinking it would try too hard to get an emotional response out of the audience that is likely there just to see some solid action and crazy Tom Cruise stunts. But it surprisingly emotionally hooked me in from the first scene, as someone who has seen every installment of the franchise. If you are thinking about catching up or re-watching earlier movies, it might be worth it. If you are looking for something to do over this holiday weekend, I'd say go to the movies and check out one or both of these releases.